Welcome back, guys. As you can see, I am at the Venice Pier. Sharky's right behind me here up in Venice Beach, and it is jumping today. Drinks are flowing. People's having a great time in the sand. Really packed up here. Actually took me like an hour to get here. Normally it used to take me 40 minutes, but not hard to see as I'm driving through why Venice is still holding price-wise so strong, and I think it'll probably set new highs this year because, man, this place is crammed. The whole town. I mean, breweries at noon when I was coming through, just packed as I was driving by. I was like, wow, pretty congested up here. Actually makes me feel like Punta Gorda is not that bad, but I hate traffic everywhere, guys. And as you know, I like to keep my finger on the trigger here. Just try to get a pulse of the market anecdotally a lot of times. Look at different things. I bring you guys a lot of stats, but there's other little things that I like to pay attention to. How blue is that water, guys? That's crazy. It's like, why is everyone paying these outrageous prices? Look at that water. That's why. Unfortunately, that's the it's just, it's nice. So, yeah, as you guys know, we've had, previously our association has run out of lock boxes twice. We have so many listings down by us. Again, this is not Venice. This is Charlotte County. I'm just up here kind of walking around today. And Northport, Inglewood area, Punta Gorda. We have run out of lock boxes 2 times, and that has never happened before. Now, some of that is some naughty agents, I won't name anybody, has not returned them. Might still be in the back of their car, but we'll get them back to you. But that's not all of it. We just have a huge inventory run up. In fact, for the first time ever, I didn't know that I had a limit on properties that I could send to a customer until I ran into a log jam the other day. There's a gentleman I've been working with for about 8 years now, and I've sent him properties, waterfront properties from Osprey to Punta Gorda for 8 years. Never once has the search jammed up and told me we have too many results, but this week it did. It said you have over 400 results for this guy. Waterfront houses in a very high price range. So that was a shocker to me. That's kind of some of the stuff that you can look around and see how things are shifting. Our local board of realtors is offering short sale specialization classes. I think that is a little preemptive. I mean, we've heard of them going around, but they are by no means a massive factor in the market right now. So for them to come out and start offering those courses, that's a little concerning to me. And as you guys can see, most people out here fishing today, right at the end of the pier. And as we've talked about before, guys, affordability has been probably my major gripe with this area. My area seems to be improving slightly. We are seeing listings where sellers are just flat out offering any kind of concessions right in the listing description now. Usually that was down in the down in the realtor remarks, but now they're just telling you right in the listing description, hey, we're motivated, bring an offer, we'll work with you. So that's sort of the climate shifting down in my area. I'm going to take you under the pier here, under the boardwalk, as they call it. And I think another big shift that's occurring is we are just still continuously building multiple communities out there. And Charlotte County just announced 4 more by one developer alone. So when that stuff comes on the market, which it is doing right now, it's pushing resale prices down because they are very competitive. They can offer you a lot of incentives. So we're starting to see resale sellers have to realize that and adjust accordingly. I think a scenario we could run into here, this sand is much different than Inglewood, guys, so I'm going to be all over the place. A scenario, we got a nice little cliff here too, that we're most likely, in my opinion, going to run into is a lot of people are going to move up and be gravitating towards the new construction for obvious reasons, not just incentives and price points, but the insurance benefits, things like that. You don't have to usually worry about those for about 10 years. Well, they give you a 10-year warranty, but results may vary. And that's going to leave the resale market, which has a lot of inventory, in a very precarious spot. Whew, man, that took a lot out of me. I had to get up here on the high sand. That was rough. And as you guys know, they're not just building down in Charlotte. I took you through Welland Park last week. They're doing tons of building in there. So as more and more of these new construction homes come up, and become available, that's where I think affordability is going to start. You're going to start seeing it more. I mean, when Wink News puts on articles about a guy down in Fort Myers making $21 an hour, and he's got to live in a camper and use a porta potty, something's got to give. You know, a lot of people call me and ask me and say, hey, you know, where do you see all this going, Ben? And it's like I tell everybody else, I don't know. Like, I really couldn't tell you. After inflation, guys, it's just so hard for me to see brand new homes going under, you know, $300,000, $350,000, especially when there's such a better deal when you're looking at 300 to 350 houses that are either brand new or built within the last year or two, and the competition is a 1980s house that hasn't been redone at the same price. It just doesn't make sense, and I don't think we see those adjust without, you know, why would you? If you have a brand new house, you have a brand new build, why would you bring your price down lower than what people are trying to sell resales for that are outdated and are going to cost more to insure and may have, you know, work that needs to be done to them? So I kind of get it. I don't see without, again, we've always said without some like major black swan event, because look at the stock market, still going. I just don't see us really getting to that point. And like I mentioned, guys, what's going to kill the resales is the new construction, because they're just a better value. They're building so much of it. And like Travis told me, he asked me when I was on his show, have you seen 4.75 fixed rate loans being offered by builders? I said, no. Well, now I have. So, I mean, things like that. Now, there are sellers offering concessions to get you there as well, but that is a big chunk by, I mean, what are you talking, like 2.5 points? Like that's, or 2.5% off the interest rate? That's kind of crazy. So if you're looking at a 50-year-old house for $400,000 with a 7% interest rate, or you're looking at a $400,000 house that's brand new with a 4.75 interest rate, which one are you going to pick? It is just an absolutely A+ day out here, guys. Look at that water. Look at how blue it is. I would not be caught dead in it right now because it's freezing. Actually, I have jeans on and I'm still a little breezy out here, but people are loving it. Place is hopping, and we've got quite a few people looking for shark teeth down here. You can find some considerably sized ones. Got another gentleman over here on the left. Almost like a pastime here down at Venice Pier. Couple more on the right. And again, guys, I'm not an economist. I'm just a real estate agent. So I like numbers, but you know, when people ask me what can we do about this affordability issue, I mean, I think at this point, what I would probably take a look at, and people are smarter than me, politicians will handle this, could be completely off base, is one thing I'd probably consider is taking a look at that homestead exemption, because what they give you was set up, God, many moons ago, and inflation has risen so much. You know, if you get $50,000 or $25,000 off the assessed value of your house when homes were averaging $200,000, $250,000 around here, that's great. But now, when they're in the 400, 500 range, I would argue that that probably needs to be adjusted, at least to 100, maybe 125. That would help quite a bit. I hear from a lot of people in the comments when I bring up the tax issues, all my taxes haven't gone up. Things are capped. Yes, and that's not an issue if you're already here, even though some people are seeing very, very high tax increases. Thank you. Looped me. Here comes another one behind me. Where was I going with that? Taxes, taxes, taxes. You got me too, sir. Oh, the issue becomes when you move from another state and you come here, or you were previously a renter who didn't have a homestead exemption and you move here. Then you can see very big tax increases on your new purchases, and I advise everyone to review that beforehand, especially if you're getting a loan. Your lender can tell you, you know, add that stuff in, see if they can estimate the taxes for you. It'll save you a lot of grief potentially later. One thing that a lot of Floridians don't know is there's something called tax portability for your homestead here as well, and it recently came up with some customers of mine, and someone who I sold a house to actually recently used it. So if you move within the state and your previous home was your homestead residence, you are able to carry some of those tax benefits to your new homestead. It can be very substantial and save you a ton of money on taxes, but there isn't something like that, obviously, for someone who's coming out of state. So that's where we're seeing, and what I'm referencing, these huge tax jumps, these huge tax bills that these people are getting because they're moving from out of state, and a home that has had capped tax assessments for 20 years now all of a sudden reassesses at new purchase price, and then things start to get really out of control. So that's what I'm referencing, guys. If you're here and you've got low taxes and low HOAs and low condo fees, congratulations, sir. Why would you do that? Can you not see I'm trying to be a professional here? And I'll tell you guys, all I hear around the county and around Northport is we have such a big push for affordable housing, and I have not seen it materialize. One thing that is interesting is I've heard of a lot of apartment complexes that were going to be breaking ground and starting over the past couple of months, and almost none of them have. I wonder why. And two things I want to touch on real quick, guys, is one, the open house extravaganza is still in full force, but again, in season as it should be. You want to pick up your sales now. Traditionally, they do pick up now. But I am actually going to a community-wide open house just for real estate agents, 3 to 5 today over at Beach Walk down in Inglewood. That's why I figured I'd come up to Venice first, shoot this. Going to head down there, try to get you guys some footage of what's going on in there. But these things were unheard of 2 years ago. You know that? And that's a lot of the point of my channel, is to illustrate the huge changes that have occurred here in really a very short period of time. It used to be you had to put your name in a raffle and hope you won so the builder would pick you for the privilege of making an offer. And that is still going on, unfortunately, in some parts of the country, but not here, guys. And they're building a lot. So, these are the kind of things that I like to bring to people's attention, just to kind of show them how the climate's going. And also, I've been walking around here for over an hour and a half. I've got plenty of sand in my shoes, guys. And you know what I have not seen? I have not seen one other man in sunglasses with a phone talking about real estate. So I don't think it's as big of a problem as you're making it out to be. All right, guys, we're going to switch things up a little bit today. I'm down at Beach Walk. I'm going to show you what 1.2 million gets you at Devasta. This is their stellar model. Let's go. And we'll bring you right inside. We're not going to make this too long, guys, because that's not what you're here for, but sometimes people like to see this. Office den right here on the left. Wide open living space. Course gas bath. Basically an in-law suite at that point. Give you another shot of this living area. Got your pool bath here and your master. Check this, guys. Bathroom is pretty sweet, pretty nice size, but look at this walk-in. Start a whole new life in here. Onto the other wing of the property. So you guys know my stance on Charlotte County, Northport, Punta Gorda. I think, pretty solidly buyer's market for single family and condos. Single family up here, though, I don't know. Might be a little bit different. And that's just how things can change, guys. I mean, I'm not 20 miles away from my main living market, and it's a completely different scenario up here. But I will say for Charlotte County, I have not seen the closed sales in February to the degree that I thought I would. I think right today, I want to say it's 21st, we have had about 220 closed sales for single family homes, about 40 for condos, townhomes, and villas in Charlotte County. So I expected that to be quite a bit higher. Again, these are off my MLS, and depending on where you pull them, you're going to get different results. The MLS is going to have slightly different results than the Board of Realtors will, than Redfin will, Zillow, things like that. But I had expected them to be a little higher than that. I'm going to see if we can close out the last couple of days and crest 300. But that, if we don't crest 300, that's a really weak month to me for single family sales. 300 is usually just the base minimum. So that could be very interesting. Again, still waiting on the Board of Realtors numbers. I should have them to you soon. There's a holiday in there, so I got to give them some time to get it out. But very interested to see what their data shows as compared to what I'm pulling straight from the MLS. Very clean, very well kept down here. Also, they make sure that you please clean up after your dog. In some parts of the country, there's a picture of a human on this. As you guys can see, Sharky's on the top deck behind me. Excellent view of the water. And guys, I have to thank you so much. Last week, I hit 1 million views on my videos, which if you would have said that to me a year ago, I would have never believed you. And you guys have just been so supportive and great. Thank you for everybody who reaches out. Thank you for everybody who comments. I read pretty much all of them, even the nasty ones that you guys write. You think you're funny. Some of you actually are pretty funny, but they're mean sometimes, guys. They're mean. But anyway, if you like this content, please give me a like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.